Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Yaster here. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to finish up your personal narrative story that we've been working on for the last couple weeks. If you look here, I have a writing process poster that I wrote up. It shows that we already did our brainstorm, that's why I put a check there. On Monday, you completed your first draft, so we're done with that. Today I'm going to teach you how to revise, edit, and then finally publish your story to share with others. So let's talk about revising first. Revising means to make your story better. So on my board here, I wrote down several things that you can do to revise your story. So when we revise, we add more details. We're making our story more interesting to our readers. So you can add describing words, maybe the size, the shape, or the color of something. Add some transition words, first, next, then, after, finally. You're adding words to your story to help it make more interesting to your reader. We want them to be excited to read what you have that you wrote. So let's take a look at my Sparty story real quick. I went through and I added some things to my Sparty story to revise it, to make it a little bit better. So one hot summer day, I was working in the yard with my family. We decided to let Sparty, our tortoise, out to walk around. I went to look for Sparty. Sam, where is Sparty? I don't know, Sam said. I started to get worried. I added that part there because I remember when I was asking Sam where Sparty was and he didn't know, that's when I started to get worried about him. So I wanted to make sure my reader knew that I was getting worried about my tortoise. We started looking all over for him. Well, I added more here because I looked at my picture and I remembered that we looked up by the house, we looked by the tree, and we looked in the garden. So I added that to my words. I said we looked by the house, over by his favorite tree, and in the garden. We found him in the garden under a big green pumpkin leaf. Did you see how I added those two describing words there? Big and green to describe that pumpkin leaf. I was so glad. Now, remember, this is about how you made a mistake. So I thought at the end, I better say what I learned from this mistake. I learned to keep a better eye on Sparty. So at the end of your story, make sure you tell us what you learned from that mistake. Now let's talk about revising our stories. Or editing, we're editing our stories now. So if you look here at my poster, when we edit our stories, we have capitals at the start of a sentence, we have end marks at the end of a sentence, and we spell our sight words correctly. So here I have Sparty was lost. In the red marker, I show how I capitalize Sparty at the start of the sentence. I spelled the word was correctly, and then I made sure to end it with a period. You're going to do the same thing in your story. You're going to make sure that all of your sentences start with capitals, and you're going to make sure all of your sight words are spelled correctly, and you have periods at the end of your sentence. After you have revised and edited your story, you are going to go ahead and publish your story on Flipgrid. Your teachers are posting a link for Flipgrid, and you're going to go to Flipgrid and you're going to read your story to all of your classmates. And then go ahead and listen to some of their personal narratives as well. Happy writing! Talk to you guys again soon. Bye!